Something unbelievable just happened. Imagine standing in front of the grand fountain at the Seoul Arts Center. The water begins to dance. The lights sparkle against the night sky, and instead of hearing Mozart, Beethoven, or Tchaikovsky, the music that fills the air is Jin's voice. His solo track, Don't Say You Love Me, echoes over the blue slopes of Umyeon Mountain, blending with the rhythm of the water. People stop in their tracks. Some record it with teary eyes. Others simply close their eyes, letting Jin's emotional voice wash over them like the fountain itself. And this wasn't the first time. Just a few weeks earlier, his other song, To Me Today, was also chosen for the World Music Fountain, making Jin the only K-pop soloist to have back-to-back songs honored at one of Korea's most prestigious music landmarks. Netizens called it a healing experience, describing how his voice, the fountain show, and the natural beauty created a moment they will never forget. But that's only one chapter of the story. Because on September 20th in Macau, at the 2025 The Fact Music Awards, Jin once again proved why he's not just a singer, but a phenomenon. Out of countless global artists, he stood tall, winning first place in the Fan and Star Choice solo category. This wasn't some small fan vote. This was millions of voices uniting across the world. Jin earned 3,632,290 votes, securing an overwhelming 42% share. Nearly half of everyone who voted for him. And what makes this even more powerful? Jin has done it before. Back in 2022, just before his enlistment, he was the first BTS member to win this category as a soloist. His heartfelt speech then left fans emotional, and now, after serving his country, after waiting patiently for his return, he's once again standing on that stage in Havana, proving no time, no distance, no pause could ever weaken his bond with fans. But the surprises didn't stop there. Jin also claimed the TMA Best Music Summer Award with Don't Say You Love Me. Beating powerhouse groups and beloved artists, Jin's solo track outshone the summer releases of entire groups. Think about that. One track from his Echo mini album released in May stood taller than the work of entire teams. That's the power of his artistry. And this track is no ordinary hit. It's a record breaker. On May 25th, it became the first Asian song to hit #1 on Spotify Global in 2025. For 73 straight days, it ruled Spotify Japan, setting the record as the longest-running #1 soloist in platform history there. Globally, it surpassed 400 million streams in only 107 days, the fastest K-pop song to reach that milestone this year. Right now, it's still holding strong in the Spotify Global Top 50 for 127 consecutive days, making it the longest-charting K-pop release of 2025 and the only song this year to stay in the top 10 for over 70 days. Pause and think about that. Out of every single song released worldwide in 2025, only Jin's has held the top for this long. That's not just success, that's history. And Jin's list of achievements keeps growing. He now holds the crown as the K-pop soloist with the most #1 hits on Billboard's World Digital Song Sales chart, with 7 songs claiming the top. His album Echo is the only K-pop solo album of 2025 to last over 15 weeks on Billboard's World Albums chart. In the US, he's the best-selling K-pop soloist of the year in pure album sales. And then there's his tour. The Run Seokjin Tour wasn't just a concert, it was a movement. In just 1 month, it became the highest-grossing and most attended tour by any Asian solo artist in history, bringing in $32.5 million and drawing 217,000 fans. Picture stadiums filled with tens of thousands of voices, chanting his name, singing with him, a sea of unity and love only Jin could create. It's poetic. A man whose voice can silence tens of thousands in a stadium can also bring peace to a quiet night at the Seoul Arts Center fountain. A man who tops Spotify and Billboard charts across the globe can also heal hearts with music flowing alongside streams of water under the stars. So here's the question. Did anyone expect this? That a song released just months ago would not only dominate Spotify, break chart records, and sweep awards, but also become part of Korea's cultural heartbeat, played side by side with the world's greatest masterpieces? Jin isn't just back from military service. He's back to conquer. His voice is echoing louder than ever, not only across charts, but in the hearts of millions. And judging by how 2025 is unfolding, this might only be the beginning of something even greater.